Hey, what's up, guys? It's been a while. I just want to make a quick life update. I'm about to go get my final job offer, and then I have to decide what I'm going to do: stay in the small town or try to find a job in a big city. I just want to make a quick life update about my boyfriend, husband, life, job, career, school, and pretty much everything else going on in my life. Before I get into that, I just want to say, let's forget about the videos that I made over the last couple of months and move on. So, boyfriend, husband, this guy, I met him off of Tinder. He invited me to stay a couple of nights. We ended up getting off and along really, really well. I really like him because he has a similar personality to me. I actually feel like I can be myself, which is really, really nice. I've always felt like I had to put on a mask to really fit in with people, friends and boyfriends and people in my life. So this is the first time I feel like I can actually be my true self, and it's amazing. It's amazing having someone that has a similar personality, humor level, things you can joke about that are actually funny, that you both find funny. Because I feel like before I would find things funny, or I would do things that I would think were romantic, but they never ended up being romantic. So it's been really great. I had no expectations. Anyway, he ended up driving like 3 or 4 hours just to come visit me in my small town. So that was really romantic. Spent 3 nights. And then recently I drove back to Atlanta so I could spend another 3 nights with him. So it's just been really a lot of boyfriend material. And that's something he wanted to discuss, was like, are we boyfriends? Maybe even husbands, because he was talking about a lot of long-term things. And I didn't want to say yes because I felt like it's really hard to maintain a relationship when we're 3 hours apart. I'm also unemployed, so I did kind of get annoyed that he wouldn't just buy me everything and anything. We ended up just splitting most of the stuff, which was a bit disappointing. But he's just like a very smart, attractive, works out kind of guy. He has like a master's or a PhD in computer science. Very techie, but he has a good friend group. I met all of his friends. It was really, really nice. But I have to drive 3.5 hours just to see him. So it's very, very long. And then two, it's like, well, when I do get a job, which is what I'm going to talk about next, where are we going to be then? Am I doing this out of like boredom and necessity, or am I doing this out of love? So he started saying like, oh, well, he started talking about like where he wanted to live in the next year or so. And it's just like, I don't know, it's really, and then I don't know, I still have like some internalized homophobia, which I know a lot of you guys don't like, but this is just how my brain works, and this is how I'm wired, and it sucks. Having internalized homophobia sucks, and I'm not going to be shamed for it because that's just how my brain works. Because I had a couple times where we were like kissing and making out, and I'm just like, ugh, like what am I doing? And I wasn't into it as much as I thought I would be. I was just like, ugh, like what am I doing? Like and then when I started looking at myself in the mirror, like the night or two after, I just felt really, really gay. I felt really, really gay, and it was scary. And the other thing that we have problems with is we haven't done anal yet. And I like penetration. I like penetration a lot. I'm a dom top in a skinny body. A lot of people would not look at me and be like, oh, that's a dom. No, but my masculinity, my attitude definitely carries dom and that's something I learned about myself, is most guys that will date me, they will be the submissive. They will do exactly what I tell them to do, and I really enjoyed that. But at the same time, we can't just keep doing side stuff. I cannot do side stuff. I think about ass, I think about pussy, I think about anuses. And I need to penetrate something, or I'll just sit there and jerk like 3 or 4 times in a row and still not be happy. So that's something that we'd probably have to work through. I think he'd be willing to do it, but I don't know. It's just hard because, again, he's like the muscular guy. He works out. I do not. All right. Next quick update. I'm about to go into my interview. I ended up knowing someone here in my small town that happened to be like the COO of a pretty decent sized company. And I'm going to be like a data analyst. I can redesign their website. I might manage a person or two. I might help with some projects and project management. There's just a lot of amazing things I'm going to be able to do. So I'm leaning towards actually working for this company, which means I'm going to have to stay in my small town for like 6 to 12 months at least. So I have enough experience in my portfolio so it doesn't look like I'm a complete and utter terrible employee. So that's kind of the decision I have to do. But it's like if I take the job, then I have to stay in this small town, which I hate. There's 0 gay people, 0 Asian people, 0 Indian people. And all his friends, they were white, nerdy, software engineer types, Asian, dorky. And it was just 1,000 times easier to make friends with them than anyone here by 1,000 times. There just aren't software engineers here. I want enough to be able to just afford a nice little shack in Florida. That's my long-term goal. I think St. Petersburg or Fort Lauderdale would be amazing. And then I also have a lot of FOMO about not living in LA. I really like LA. I have kind of the Valley Girl accent, unfortunately. I have the Valley Girl interests. I like health. I like gluten-free. I like sugar-free. I like organic. I like all of those things. So it's like, I don't know, life is so short. Like maybe I just need to move back to LA or San Diego or maybe even San Francisco, but it has to be warm. Okay, last update is I'm finishing my master's. My master's, I finish it next week. It's been crazy. I didn't know that I was able to finish my master's this summer. I thought I had to do an entire another semester. I thought I had to retake a course. Nope, I don't have to do that. So I'm finishing it now, which kind of sucks because I didn't really have time to do an internship. I took 8 classes last semester and that was way too many and I burnt the hell out. But, you know, I've been working on my projects. The app that never got into the App Store, I ended up building an app for like users to do user testing. I got my first paid customer. There's a lot of stuff I have to rework and redo on that. But at the same time, it's like, I also really, like, I don't know, maybe like I need to raise venture capital. I think I need to raise venture capital. Like, I think that's what my lifestyle is pointing towards. I don't know if that's something that I'm going to be able to do, but like, I probably should get a job. It's way better than sitting around doing nothing. You know, I'm learning, I'm doing stuff. I'm learning coding, I'm learning my data structures, algorithms every day. I'm learning design, I'm working on my projects. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I need to be doing something. I need to be making money because I want to tell my parents that I'm gay, and I think that will help with my stress levels and falling asleep a lot. It would just be a huge relief, and when I'm financially independent and I don't have to worry about ever living with them again, I think, you know, I'll be a-okay. And then lastly, I'm also like, I made a pickleball app. I'm really into pickleball. And I just have a lot of things going for me now. I'm starting to get my life together. I'm really good at meal prepping, getting my nutrition. And I just have a lot of great things going for me. So yeah, I just want to make a quick update video. We'll talk more in depth my goal is going to be to try and do like one video a week. Maybe we'll talk about like gay trends or gay topics or like other things like that. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should talk about, because I also kind of like ran out of video ideas, so I just like don't even know what else to post. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little update video.